This is lesson 2 of week 20. Grade 11s, today we're going to introduce you to the urinary system. We have been looking at the different organs that are involved with excretion. We've seen the lungs, the liver, and the role that the skin has played. And today we're going to start looking at the role that the kidneys play. When we refer to the urinary system, we're referring to the kidneys and we're referring to the excretory system that produces the substance urine. Now, the urinary system consists of a number of different organs which you must become familiar with. The main organs within the urinary system are the kidneys. So let's indicate them here on the diagram. These are the kidneys. You have a right kidney and of course you have a left kidney. Please remember that although this kidney illustrated here is on the right hand side of your picture, it is in fact the left kidney because it is as if we are looking at a human body. The kidneys are connected to two tubes, one from each kidney, that carries urine produced in the kidney to a bladder. And a bladder is a storage organ that stores the urine. Now, the names of the tubes running from kidney to bladder, these are the ureters. There is a tube that leads from the bladder to the outside of the body, and that is the urethra. Associated with the kidneys are blood vessels. There is going to be an artery that brings blood from the heart, and the artery is going to be rich in waste substances. Of course, this blood is going to flow into the kidneys and it's going to be filtered and purified. The waste substances are going to be in the form of urine, which are collected in the bladder and then excreted to outside the body. The purified blood is going to return to the rest of the circulatory system via a renal vein. We call the arteries and veins associated with kidneys the renal vessels. So this main artery would be the renal artery, and the main vein is the renal vein. And that is the basic overall structure of the kidneys and associated tubes and the bladder, which is a storage organ. Urine is constantly processed by the kidneys. There's a constant production of urine in the kidneys. This is because there is a constant flow of blood carrying wastes through the kidneys where it is filtered and then the purified blood returned back to the circulatory system. And this happens continually, 24 hours a day. The urine that is produced is stored inside the urinary bladder. The bladder is made of tissue that is able to stretch, and therefore the bladder can grow in size and store the urine inside it. Once the bladder becomes full, there is a nerve that connects to the brain and raises your consciousness that the bladder is full. You're unaware of urine collecting in the bladder. This is not something that you're consciously aware of. However, when the bladder stretches, nerves in the wall of the bladder connect to a main nerve that goes to the brain, and you start to feel that your bladder is full and that you need to empty your bladder. Once you are over the age of about 1.5, 2 years old, you are potty trained or toilet trained, which means that you are able to control the emptying of your bladder. Muscles keep the bladder closed. There is a very special muscle at the opening of the bladder into the urethra. It is called a sphincter muscle, a urinary bladder sphincter, and it keeps the opening to the bladder closed. Once you go to the toilet, you consciously instruct your bladder, the sphincter, to open. You think about it, your muscle here, the sphincter muscle would relax and urine would flow out of the bladder from the urethra. Here is your homework for today. What are the functions of the following structures, all belonging to your excretory system? What is the function of the bladder, kidneys, renal artery, ureter, and urethra? How about those homework functions? Were you able to work out what the functions of these structures are? The bladder stores urine, and it is the kidneys that filter blood, extract wastes, they filter the wastes from the blood, and produce the urine, which is a collection of waste substances. The renal artery brings the blood to the kidney, and of course that blood is rich in waste substances, and it is the renal vein that will take blood away from the kidney, and that blood of course has been purified. The ureter carries urine, and so does the urethra carry urine. So both of these tubes carry urine. The ureter carries urine from the kidneys to the bladder. The urethra carries urine from the bladder outside the body. The urine leaves the body via the urethra. That's it for today, grade 11s. Join me again tomorrow when we look in detail at the structure of the kidneys.